Hyenas are among the most dangerous and effective predators in Africa. They are smaller than many competitors like lions and leopards, but they have advantages of their own. First and foremost is their numbers. Hyenas gather in entire small armies. If a pride can send 3 or 4 lionesses against a buffalo, then the hyenas will attack with a dozen or even a dozen and a half. Moreover, do not consider hyenas weak. Their jaws can crush large bones. Their hunting tactics are characterized by cruelty that yields results. While panthers try to reach the throat of the prey and simply strangle it, hyenas can circle around the prey for hours, swoop in, bite, and retreat. The goal of hyenas is to inflict maximum ragged wounds that bleed and weaken the opponent. Hyenas are very enduring, and even if several individuals get tired, reinforcements will come. Hyenas can hold the prey in a ring and not let it go for a long time. This is reminiscent of a siege, where before the decisive storm, the enemy exhausts the defenders with diversions into terror. This tactic may seem repulsive to us, but there is no place for human morality in the animal world. After all, hyenas as cubs wait for their parents in their lairs. Do you disagree? Share your opinion in the comments. Moreover, even against a huge number of opponents, buffaloes are not willing to surrender. Hyenas clearly underestimated the endurance and fierceness of their enemy. The buffalo acts very decisively. The typical tactic of hyenas is to have several animals attack the victim one by one. When a larger but surrounded opponent lunges at one hyena, the other will bite into its back. However, hyenas underestimated the cohesion of buffaloes. These hoof animals cover each other and don't allow comrades to attack from behind. Even a huge pack of hyenas hesitates when faced with several buffaloes at once. Although predators wisely chose a calf as prey, the adult herbivores don't allow them to approach and even touch the calf. When the hoofed animals cover each other, they can easily scatter the enemies. No matter how long hyenas may besiege such a herd, buffaloes are much more stubborn. Here, a female defends the calf from an entire pack. The calf managed to keep calm, not running away and staying on the ground between its mother's legs. This saved it. The female buffalo bravely defends the offspring and drives away a whole gang of predators for as long as it takes for the hyenas to finally realize that this prey is not for them. Besides strength, buffaloes have other disadvantages. If a hoofed animal decides to settle the score with a particularly annoying hyena, its attack from the rear won't be stopped even by other aggressors. A bull can simply trample a hyena and, while ignoring other bites, switch to the rest of the attackers only after finishing off the first enemy. A very high pain threshold is an undeniable advantage for the hoofed animal. Moreover, the bull has such a serious advantage in physical strength that even dozens of hyenas are sometimes not enough to defeat it. It's challenging to find a more aggressive herbivore than a hippopotamus. These fierce giants consider their water territories private and can attack any other animal that approaches without apparent reason. While hippos often tolerate the presence of other hoofed animals, they lose patience if provoked. If an impala makes too much noise, for example, the hippo promptly breaks its spine with its incredible jaws. If a zebra irritates the hippo by spending too much time in its water, then the giant charges and drowns the unfortunate animal, even though the hippo recently protected them from predators. However, there are animals that couldn't care less about the mood swings of hippos: African buffaloes. Despite the buffalo towering over the hippo, don't be deceived at all. The bull's weight is less than a ton, while the hippo's weight is roughly 4 times more. The aggressor knows this, so it threatens the buffalo and aggressively charges. Yet the buffalo is a family-oriented animal. While it may not overpower the hippo, it's the largest and strongest in its group. Therefore, the courageous bull gives its relatives a chance to retreat and takes on all the hippo's rage. Do agree, such loyalty is admirable. The hippo opens its mouth wide enough to fit the entire head of the buffalo along with its enormous horns. A true battle of titans. But these intimidation attempts make no impression on the buffalo at all. It stands its ground, covering the retreat of its family to a safe place. Fortunately, the fierce attack ended for the buffalo without serious injuries. It withstood the hippo's pressure and even managed to resist it. Defeating the massive hippo was impossible. The strengths were too uneven, and the buffalo's horns weren't sharp enough to penetrate the thick, fat-layered, and well-protected hippo's skin. Yet, in a battle against the hippo, retreating and preserving life without serious injuries is already a victory. The hippo's tactic is straightforward. It wants to overturn the opponent, knock it to the ground, or turn it in a way that makes it easier to grab with its huge jaws. The hippo doesn't acknowledge short bites. It grabs the victim with its enormous tusks, then shakes it from side to side like a wet cloth. However, the buffalo managed to avoid this fatal fate and retreated, following its family's safety soon after they found refuge. This hippo clearly sees itself as a true monster. It got angry when a whole herd of buffaloes approached the water where it was resting. The hippo doesn't want to see guests and considers the lake its own. So it decided to show these buffaloes who's the boss. It looks impressive. A powerful creature the size of a car emerges from the water, roars with fury, shakes its huge mouth from side to side, creates real waves, and rushes onto that shore. And suddenly realizes that its performance didn't impress the buffaloes at all. The hippo is alone, while there's a whole crowd of buffaloes, and they don't like it when someone tries to intimidate them. When the hippo was already on the shore, it suddenly understood that not only did the buffaloes not retreat, but they encircled it, and lowered their heads with enormous horns and stared somewhat oddly. Anyone would feel uneasy in this situation. The hippo deflated like a balloon, slowly losing air. And just moments ago, it was ready to scatter bulls like kittens, and now it lowers its head, attempting to appear small and inconspicuous. As if he's saying, "What, me? I just yawned, stumbled, and rushed onto the shore. I don't pose any threat at all. And by the way, I got scared by a fish. I should have stirred things up. I like you guys. Goodbye." Under the unwavering gaze of a dozen buffaloes, the hippo cautiously returns to the water where it feels more confident. What do you think of this amusing scene? Let us know your opinion in the comments. The buffalo managed to assess the situation in time and understand how to resist the hippo. Firstly, it needed to withstand the first direct attack and get as close to the front of the enemy as possible, so it couldn't use its mass advantage and had a harder time utilizing its jaw power. Secondly, the buffalo crouched low and dove under the hippo's head to strike its neck with its horns when the opponent threatened with its tusks. Quite an excellent move. Although the hippo's neck is thick, the sagging skin easily indicates it's a sensitive area. As a result, even a single buffalo managed to resist the aggressive hippo, making it retreat and seize the attack. Slender legs, powerful body, and a trailing slender tail. Judging by the silhouette, the bull appears to be exclusively a land animal. Indeed, wildebeests live on land, but they are excellent swimmers. They navigate well in water, overcoming aquatic obstacles, unlike domestic cows. However, in Asia, there's a type of cattle that loves water even more than other hoofed animals. That's why they're called the Asian water buffalo. Besides grazing near water bodies, these animals possess a true superpower. They can hold their breath and dive for several minutes. The sight of their enormous horned heads emerging gracefully from the water after a few minutes of submersion is pretty impressive, isn't it? However, Asian water buffaloes are not only adept swimmers, but also fierce fighters capable of withstanding serious pressure. Here, a buffalo is engaging in a battle with the yak. Although these species are relatively close relatives, it doesn't prevent healthy competition. The collision between the adult bulls and yaks resembles a battle of two tectonic plates. Both sides display incredible stubbornness and willpower. They employ an interesting tactic. It seems they attack straightforwardly and can only use a ramming strategy here. Indeed, they stand firmly on their legs as if their hooves are anchored in the ground. It feels like not even a tsunami could make them retreat. Yet, despite the powerful impact, both animals fight pretty elegantly. Just notice the refined small movements of their heads. The exchange of devastating blows starts resembling fencing, where opponents try to find openings in each other's defense. Hook, unbalance, check flanks with short horn strikes, swiftly react to threats, and respond with powerful counterattacks. In a minute, both beasts delivered dozens of blows. They created a cloud of dust while attempting to push each other down the slope. Thus, they simultaneously withstand the opponent's pressure, explore its defenses with short horn strikes, and contemplate how to secure a more advantageous tactical position. These are pretty true warriors. Whose side are you on in this confrontation? Share your thoughts in the comments.
The black panther is a case of mutation, due to which the color of the predatory large cat becomes much darker than the usual ones of its species. That is, it is not a different species, but simply predatory cats which outwardly differ from its relatives. Interestingly enough, black panthers are born in two species that are thousands of miles or thousands of kilometers apart: leopards that live in Africa and Asia, as well as jaguars that live in South America. Although these cats may seem similar because of their spotted color, in fact they are not very similar to each other at all. The jaguar is much larger. It also differs in physique, and there are black dots inside its spots. The leopard is smaller, tighter, more elegant, and its spots look like rings or solid black dots. The black leopard is no anatomically different from the usual one. There is an opinion that they can become more aggressive, but it's not confirmed by facts and research. And they can also look a little bit different. There are individuals whose skin is really almost black. And there are leopards whose fur is dark brown, and then black spots will stand out perfectly against its background. In any case, the unusual color does not prevent either leopards or jaguars from disguising themselves in the jungle. Maybe it even helps. Therefore, if white tigers and lions hardly survive in nature due to difficulties with laying to the victim, then black spotted cats, on the contrary, are successful predators. When the black panther goes out to fight, it looks epic, as if a piece of the night got claws and fangs. This leopard underestimated the aggression of a black relative who came to drive him away from his territory. The black panther was so brave that he decided to arrange a fight right in the crown of a tree at a very great height. A large adult hyena is larger than a teenage leopard. When a pair of spotted predators wanted to take away her food, the hyena decided not to run away and not defend herself, but to attack and eat the leopard. This was a mistake. Although the young cat is inferior to the mother hyena in size, its strength should not have been underestimated. The leopard repulsed the aggressor with powerful blows of its paws and alone coped with her attack. Meanwhile, the second leopard stole the food. The teamwork is 100% effective. And this is despite the fact that after having finally matured, leopards usually live independently and do not unite in groups. Maybe in vain? If the leopard played role-playing games, he would probably choose his characters assassins or ninjas. And it's not just a phenomenal talent to disappear from under the noses of enemies. It's about pragmatism. While the lion goes into a frontal attack on the opponent, wolves fight in whole packs, and tigers attack bears. The leopards avoid wasting energy. He's not lazy, just why bother when it's not necessary? Therefore, if a competitor tries to take away prey, and there are no trees nearby, the leopard may well throw lunch and run away so as not to fight. But this is not cowardice, but calculation. Don't you believe it? This hyena also thought that the leopard would run away. She underestimated the enemy and made a fatal mistake. Without the cover of a dozen more relatives, the hyena itself is a tasty prey for this pragmatic assassin from the world of wildlife. It doesn't even look like a fight. Against a cruel and strong leopard, one hyena is simply helpless. The main trump card of the leopard is his ability and agility combined with an incredible ability to sneak up. These impalas felt safe. And you can understand them. They can run so fast that only a cheetah can catch up with them, and then with great difficulty and with all the effort. And in terms of maneuverability, they have no equal among mammals at all. The impala is able to turn 180 degrees on the run with almost no loss of speed, jump over the pursuer, dodge the claws of a predator for a fraction of a second before impact. Impala eyes, like many ungulates, are located on the side of the head for better coverage. The field of view of this ungulate is much better than that of most animals. This feature allows you to notice the threat in advance, even if it creeps up from the back. You could literally see what's behind your shoulder blade if you had such an eyesight. But you know what? The leopard doesn't care about all these advantages. The impala just didn't know who was hiding in these thickets. If the leopard is within striking distance, the impala's speed no longer matters. How did he manage to sneak up so close if the impala sees what is behind her back? Disguising a leopard is almost an art. He becomes almost invisible thanks to his spotted skin, and, most importantly, the ability to freeze with his whole body and not move for a very long time. And when the leopard is already close enough, a single jump, and he breaks the impala's spine or wrings his neck with one crushing jerk. The leopard is a master of ambushes. But what happens if someone tries to sneak up on him? This lion saw a competitor who decided to get a nap. The lion is about 3 times more massive and much stronger, so if he catches a leopard, he can deal with it within a few minutes. So now the lion's task is to sneak up on the spotted competitor unnoticed. A step, another step, then another, and now the leopard is within striking distance. Are you worried about him, or do you wish good luck to the Leo? Who are you rooting for in this case? It seems that in a second, the King of Beasts will be celebrating victory, but at the very last moment, the leopard wakes up, and now the sharp, powerful claws of the leopard are already flying into the lion's eyes. He doesn't want a long fight. A lightning-fast, furious rebuff to knock down the attacking rush of the enemy, and the leopard is already fleeing. His life was hanging by a thread, but excellent reflexes and a bit of luck saved the leopard. The lion just didn't know who he was messing with. Even during sleep, the leopard remains vigilant. A whole column of people and cars impresses any predator. Even a pack of hyenas is afraid to approach a large cluster of 2-legged loud creatures that could also be armed. Wild animals know that you need to be afraid of loud cars, guns, and people who deal with all of this. Therefore, a noisy and numerous team of people was not afraid of anyone, just like their pets. It turned out in vain. The usual composure and pragmatism that is inherent in leopards completely denies them when it comes to dogs. For some mysterious reason, spotted cats fiercely hate dogs and try to deal with them at every opportunity. Neither hyenas nor lions dared to attack a group of people, although they clearly had a lot of food that could be taken away. The leopard has dared more than once. The camera lens often shows cases when a leopard risks himself and enters cities, enters a yard, or even a residential building to track down and grab a dog. Moreover, large individuals do not frighten him, but only tease him. During such outings, the leopard pursues only one goal: to deal with the dog that allowed itself to enter the territory of a predator because it thought that people would protect it. The leopard does not care about the danger so much that he is able to attack the dog right under the feet of armed people or under the door of their home. In order to sneak up unnoticed, the leopard in such cases has to use all his skills. But it looks epic. The leopard seemed to appear out of nowhere, as if he had opened some kind of portal, and immediately rushes into battle to have time to strangle the dog before people even realize what happened. Surprisingly, this is not a strange habit of one individual, but the behavior of virtually the entire species. Such episodes of brazen and desperate attacks on dogs are found from time to time throughout the habitat of leopards. Sometimes the spotted cat manages to cope with the enemy, sometimes the dog is successfully rescued, but in any case, the leopard has a hard time. To get into the environment, to give yourself away, to cause fear and anger among a lot of armed people is a so-so plan. Regardless of whether the attack on the dog was successful, saving your own skin after that is still a task. But as you can see, the leopard is willing to take any risk. What do you think this is related to? Let us know in the comments. Maybe you have the answer to the riddle.